At 0312 hours, space-based infrared system satellites detect thermal blooms, launch signatures, multiple sites. Computer systems process telemetry at microsecond intervals. Classification algorithms run probability checks. The assessment returns with 96.7% confidence. 217 ballistic missiles in boost phase. Trajectory projections calculate impact zones. Time to first detonation, 23 minutes. Strategic command bunkers receive automated alerts. Duty officers verify sensor data. Redundant systems confirm the detection. Every protocol indicates the same conclusion. Massive first strike inbound. This is the nightmare scenario combat power has analyzed in theory. Now it's happening in real time. The president is awakened. National Command Authority convenes by secure video. Intel chiefs review data. The missiles are real according to every sensor. Launch locations match known ICBM silos. Trajectories target military installations and command nodes. Decision time is measured in minutes. Presidential authority must determine response before incoming warheads detonate. At 0318 hours, 4 minutes after initial detection, the authorization is given. Execute nuclear retaliation protocol. Combat power has covered escalation mechanics before, but nothing matches this pressure. Missile crews receive authenticated launch orders. Submarine commanders verify codes. Bomber wings scramble. The response must launch before command infrastructure is destroyed. Which force breaks first? A. Air defense. B. Naval group. C. Command network. At 0322 hours, the first retaliatory missiles launch from hardened silos across 3 time zones. 30 Minuteman through ICBMs ignite and rise on columns of flame. Each carries 3 warheads. 90 nuclear weapons are now in flight toward the enemy. This is the point of no return, or it should be. At 0326 hours, 12 minutes after the initial detection, Space Command reports an anomaly. The infrared signatures are fading inconsistently. Missile trajectories show irregularities. One satellite feed shows launches that another satellite cannot confirm. The data analyst on graveyard shift notices something wrong. Thermal blooms appear identical across different launch sites, separated by 800 miles. Pixel-perfect identical. That's physically impossible. Computer systems don't notice. Humans do. What happens next changes everything. The analyst escalates immediately. Senior controllers review raw satellite data. Within 90 seconds, the truth emerges. Massive sensor system malfunction. A corrupted software update created false positive detections. The thermal blooms are ghost images, artifacts of processing errors. The launches are sensor hallucinations. There are no incoming missiles. There never were. But 30 American ICBMs are already in flight. Each missile is programmed with targets. Each warhead has a detonation sequence. Some missiles have abort systems. Many do not. At 0328 hours, emergency abort protocols activate. Commanders transmit self-destruct codes on multiple frequencies. 18 missiles receive the signal and execute termination. Explosive charges detonate. The missiles break apart at high altitude. Debris scatters across the upper atmosphere. But 12 missiles do not respond. These are older variants without two-way communication systems. They were designed to be unstoppable once launched. That was the whole point. Assured retaliation. Now that certainty becomes catastrophe. 12 missiles with 36 nuclear warheads continue toward targets in enemy territory. Time to impact, 14 minutes. Combat power analysis shows this scenario was always theoretically possible, but considered so unlikely that fail-safes were never fully implemented for this exact combination. Sensor malfunction, leading to partial launch, leading to incomplete abort. The enemy detects the American launches immediately. Their systems don't know about the sensor malfunction. They don't know about the abort attempt. They see what their sensors show. 30 American ICBMs in flight. Necessary defense or catastrophic overreach? The enemy faces the same decision the Americans faced 15 minutes earlier. Their early warning networks show inbound missiles. Their command authority convenes. Their protocols demand response. But they have one advantage: time. The American abort attempt is visible. Missiles are breaking apart in the sky. Something is wrong with this strike. It's not following standard first strike doctrine. Full-scale attack would involve hundreds of missiles, not 30. The targeting pattern doesn't match war plans. An American general is on the hotline within seconds of the abort command. The call connects at 0331 hours. We have a critical situation. False alarm. Our missiles are aborting. Repeat, false alarm and aborting. The enemy leadership faces impossible choices. Trust the adversary during a nuclear crisis? Assume this isn't deception? Wait and see if the remaining missiles are actually aborted? Or launch their own retaliation before American warheads detonate? How many interceptors can one destroyer launch simultaneously? A. 24. B. 96. C. Over 200. At 0333 hours, the enemy decides to hold retaliation, but activates all defensive systems. Their ballistic missile defense network lights up. Early warning radars track the 12 remaining American missiles. Ground-based interceptors prepare for launch. The enemy will attempt to shoot down the incoming warheads. If interception fails, retaliation launches automatically. At 0336 hours, the first intercept attempt engages. An enemy interceptor launches toward an American ICBM still in mid-course phase. Closure rate exceeds Mach 20. The interceptor's kill vehicle separates and begins terminal guidance. Infrared sensors lock onto the American warhead bus. Kinetic impact occurs at 03 through 7 hours. The American missile disintegrates. 1 down. 11 remain. Combat power observers note the technical challenge. Ballistic missile defense is brutally difficult. Hit rates under test conditions barely exceed 50%. Under combat conditions with multiple warheads and potential decoys, success rates drop further. Each American missile carries 3 warheads that separate during descent. The enemy needs to intercept 33 independent targets. They have 40 interceptors positioned for this engagement geometry. The mathematics are tight. At 0338 hours, the enemy launches 20 interceptors in rapid succession. Missiles leap from silos across a 200-mile arc. Each interceptor costs $90 million. Each American warhead carries 475 kilotons of yield. The cost-benefit analysis is irrelevant. Interception attempts continue. Kill vehicles maneuver at extreme altitudes. Some find targets, others miss by meters. If combat power decides wars, type combat power. By 0342 hours, 8 more American missiles are destroyed. 3 remain. 9 warheads are still inbound. The enemy commits their final 12 interceptors. Launch after launch ripples across the defensive belt. American warheads begin their terminal descent at Mach 18. Atmospheric re-entry plasma surrounds each warhead. Infrared signatures intensify. Enemy kill vehicles close for final intercepts. At 0344 hours, 2 more American missiles are destroyed in the last seconds of flight. 1 missile with 3 warheads continues toward impact. Time to detonation: 90 seconds. The target is an underground command bunker in the enemy's northern military district. Evacuation is impossible. The bunker seals. Personnel brace for what comes next. On the American side, command centers watch in horror. The abort failed. Interception is failing. 3 warheads are about to detonate on enemy soil from a launch that should never have happened. Diplomatic channels are screaming explanations, but words don't stop physics. At 0345 hours and 23 seconds, the final enemy interceptor launches. It's a short-range theater defense missile, not designed for ICBM interception. But it's the last option. The missile accelerates through the lower atmosphere. The American warheads are in terminal dive. Altitude drops through 30,000 feet, 20,000, 10,000. The enemy interceptor detonates its warhead at 8,000 feet altitude. It's not a direct hit. It's a proximity kill attempt. The blast wave disrupts 2 American warheads. Aerodynamic forces tear them apart. Fissile material scatters but doesn't achieve critical mass. No nuclear detonation. But one warhead continues through the blast zone. Its trajectory is disturbed but functional. At 0345 hours and 51 seconds, the warhead impacts 1.7 miles from its intended target. The detonation is immediate. 475 kilotons of nuclear yield release in milliseconds. The fireball expands to 2,800 feet in diameter. Thermal radiation ignites everything within 3 miles. The blast wave levels structures across an 8-mile radius. The mushroom cloud rises to 40,000 feet. 1 American nuclear warhead has detonated on enemy territory. It's not the massive first strike the sensors falsely detected. It's one bomb. But one bomb changes everything. Combat power analysis cannot predict what happens next because human decisions override all tactical calculations. Does the enemy see this as a limited accident or the first wave of a larger attack? Does their command authority believe American explanations or assume deception? Do they retaliate proportionally or launch full strategic response? At 0348 hours, the enemy has not launched retaliation. Communication channels remain open. American leadership is transmitting every piece of evidence: sensor logs, abort commands, interceptor telemetry. The enemy leadership reviews data while their population begins to comprehend what happened. 1 city is partially destroyed. Casualties will exceed 40,000. Radiation spreads downwind. This was an accident. But accidents with nuclear weapons become wars. The quiz answer: modern destroyers with Aegis can guide over 200 missiles if equipped with sufficient magazines, though simultaneous launches are limited by fire control channels. What would you order next? In the American position, stand down all forces or maintain alert status. In the enemy position, accept the accident explanation or demand immediate consequences. How does either side de-escalate after a nuclear detonation? Combat power has shown scenarios where firepower determines outcomes. This scenario shows where firepower becomes irrelevant. The system failed. Sensors lied. Protocols worked exactly as designed and produced catastrophe. 30 missiles launched on false information. 18 aborted successfully. 11 were intercepted. 1 detonated. That's a 96.7% success rate for damage limitation. But in nuclear warfare, 96.7% means millions dead. The tactical lesson: there is no tactical lesson. System reliability at 99.9% is insufficient when 0.1% failure means nuclear war. Human decision-making under 12-minute constraints is inadequate. Technical solutions cannot eliminate political consequences. This is the scenario that combat power hopes remains hypothetical forever. Raw force decides survival in conventional war. In nuclear miscalculation, raw force decides extinction. Subscribe to Combat Power, where raw force decides survival.